At the beginning, you mentioned affordability. That's probably one of the biggest issues we have here in Chicago. And listeners, just a quick teaser: we have Commissioner Navarro coming on a few episodes after this, which will be a lot about affordability in the city and how do we tackle this. So let's say you were Colette becomes mayor for the day, or for you become the mayor. You've sold me. I'm sold. You've gotten all our votes. How do you tackle affordability in the city here? Right? It's such a big, complicated issue with so many parties involved. Like, what are some guidelines that you would say to help reel this in and make Chicago more affordable for everyone who lives here, and it is for such a diverse community?
Yeah, affordability is one of those giant balls of just craziness. It's like you pull a string here and something else pops up the other way. The idea of affordability, in my somewhat layman's world, I feel as though it's been given a bad rap. The idea of affordability often brings people to the idea of, subsidized housing, and it's all, low income or whatever. Affordability, when it's lowercase a affordability, is about having housing that is affordable to the people who want it, right? So it can be anything from low to moderate income, maybe even subsidized if that's appropriate, but it can be perceived as a market rate thing. It's just that it's affordable. With the destruction of many of the 2 and 3 and 4 flat properties in many of the neighborhoods, we have lost what has really been the core of kind of affordable housing for our citizens to live in, and replacing them oftentimes with, higher end condos and townhomes and multi-unit properties. Those are expensive to build. It's hard to really do those, as you've seen some of the budgets lately, for less than $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a unit. What is that? That's not affordable. There's got to be a change in the cost structure here somewhere so that you can actually build quality housing without having it be at the same price point as building luxury. We also have to look at taking advantage of the opportunity to kind of reclaim much of the vacant land that's sitting in many of our neighborhoods, somewhat undeveloped and somewhat not adding any value to those communities at all, and building product that is attainable, affordable, is workforce affordable. I think you can do that with intention and accepting that we can't have everything, to look like, I don't know, any high rise that you see downtown. You can't do that affordably in the neighborhoods. So I think the ADU, I think the additional dwelling unit idea was a great add. I think the allowing for the redevelopment of some, unused maybe garden space in some of the existing, 3 and 4 flat properties is a great first step. I think it's going to take creativity. And I think it's going to take being open-minded about what quality housing is and not getting overwhelmed by scale. These things may have to be, 1 and 2, a single and a double here and there. Not everything has to be a home run, and be intentional and consistent with it. We can't be distracted by, the other shiny object that may be in the room, because affordability, the lack of affordability, is keeping people out of our neighborhoods, and keeping people out of our neighborhoods is leading to vacancy and loss of citizens. And we can't do that. We've got to find a way to make living in neighborhoods something people want to do and can afford to do. And then we can have good schools that go with them because we've got the population and we've got the tax base. All those things feed together. And I think that that's really important.